Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another Thoughts at 3 online assembly. My name is Matt, and I'm part of the schools team at Southampton City Mission. And normally we would be going to schools at this time of year, doing our RE days, doing assemblies, and so on and so forth. But obviously we can't at the moment because of the continuing lockdown. So we have been doing these online assemblies. We've been putting together home learning packs, which schools are using from home to continue to look at the topics we would have been doing with them in schools. And we're in the middle, I think, of week 7 now of our Thoughts at 3 online assemblies. If you are watching us live, hello to you. Please could you say hello in the comments? Let us know where you're watching us from and what school you know us from. Let us know your name, etc. And if you're watching on catch up, if you're watching this after it's been recorded, then hello to you too. We'd still love to hear from you. Please do say hello in the comments if you're watching at another time. Do also like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when we go live. We're also on Instagram, so you can look us up at SCM Schools on Instagram. And all of that stuff is available down at the bottom here. You should see it scrolling past you there so that you know how to connect with us. One other way to connect with us is through the SEM Stones group, which people have started joining. Some people have found Stones, some people haven't yet, but people are hearing about it. So you can find that on our Facebook page, just search SCM Stones in Facebook and keep your eyes peeled for those stones that Ellie did in her craft special last week, I think it was now. Ellie loves those craft specials. She loves craft. She's all about craft and she's great at craft. Now, I like magic. I've loved doing magic tricks or illusions since I was a little boy. From about 7 years old, my mum and dad got me my first magic set. And I did one of the little tricks just following the instructions and it blew my mind. And then I learned how to do it. And I realized it wasn't magic. It was just a trick of the eye. And so I thought, well, if Ellie's been doing these craft specials, then why don't I do a magic special? Loads of the kids when we go into schools always ask me, how do you do your tricks? Show me another trick. I'd love to know more about your tricks. So I thought it would be cool to do a magic special today. I have to stop right at the beginning and say that I am not part of any magic society. I'm not part of the magic circle, anything like that. You will have probably heard the phrase, good magicians never give away their secrets. And I suppose it's okay that I'm doing this because I'm not actually a good magician. I'm just a very amateur and standard person who sometimes does tricks. I love doing tricks because they help explain difficult concepts. When we go into schools, we talk about things like faith, things like miracles, things like resurrection, that people, not just children, but all sorts of people find it very difficult to believe. But what we do on our Question of Faith days is try and up the level of awe and wonder in the kids' minds so that they see something that they wouldn't do normally. So we're going to try and do a little bit of that for you this afternoon. And I'm using, as I said in the promo, a gimmick this afternoon, or a piece of magical equipment. Sometimes magicians would call these things gimmicks or gaffs. And the one that I'm using today is called a double backer. Now, a double backer is a pretty simple piece of kit and actually comes in most of the packs of cards that you can buy these days. So when you buy a pack of cards, I have a pack of cards here that my daughter Maggie bought for me for my birthday. So there's a Marvel pack of cards. You'll see in there you've got all the normal cards. And what I'm going to try and do actually is I'm going to try and switch on my card cam here, hashtag card cam, and see if I can also show you some stuff here. So here's the pack of cards that we had a minute ago there, Marvel. And here are the cards. You can see we've got Spidey in there, or the Spidey lot. We've got some of the Avengers in there, and we've got some baddies, we've got some space agents and so on. They've got some random card here advertising top trumps, and they've got the Jokers there as well. Now this doesn't come with a double backer, but we'll come back to that in a minute as to how we can make one. This is a pack of cards that I bought in the States when I was over there in November, and this was a frosted deck of bicycle cards. and it's called frosted because it has this special design on the back, and it's got a couple of jokers in there, as we'd normally expect to see in a deck of cards. All of the colours are slightly bluish. I don't know if you can see that on the camera there. There's a queen. You see how blue she is. They're all a bit frosty looking. And there's all the normal cards, plus this card at the end here, which has got a back on that side and it's got a back on that side. So you see two backs on the same card. That is a double backer. And you can do some pretty cool things with a double backer. So we've got this double backer here. Now, if your pack of cards doesn't come with a double backer, see how it looks just normal to all the others, but actually it's two backs. Then what you can do is you can take your jokers. We'll just go back to this pack for a second. You can take your jokers and you can make a double backer from them. So get rid of this excess card there. You can take your two jokers, and what you can do is, using a bit of glue or some double-sided sellotape or something like that, you get some glue and you glue it on one of the cards like that, and then you stick them together like that, the same way around, so that in effect you have got a double backer that you've just made, and that will last you for the length of the cards, definitely. And it should stick together. If it doesn't stick, if it loses its stickiness, then just put a bit more glue on it and stick it together again. And they're just jokers, so they're not usually going to be used when you play with the cards. So you can use those to make your own double backer like that. Okay, now once you've got a double backer, whether it's one that comes in the set that you've bought or whether it's one that you've made, then you can do some pretty cool things with it. So here is a pack of cards. The double back is on the top like that, and these are just some normal cards. Okay. What you can do here is I'm going to show you the trick first, and then I will show you how it's done. So we start with a double backer on the cards like this, and we say, right, we'd like to just pick any card like that, any card you like. Doesn't matter which card you pick. Let's say they pick this card here, and we say, right, that's the card that we're going to use, and what we're going to do is we're going to put that card one from the top. So I'm going to take your card, I'm going to put it as the second card, so you can see that's clearly going underneath there like that. That's underneath the top card. Now click our fingers, turn that card over. That was your card, the Jack of Clubs. And you can kind of repeat this as many times as you like. So you can take the card again, put it on the top of the deck, take that card and put it again one card down like that. You see it's underneath there. Click your fingers and there is the card on the top. So that's probably the most basic trick that you can do with a double backer. Now what I was doing there is something called a double lift. So I'm going to have to teach you a little bit of magician terminology now. A double lift is where you pick up two cards at once rather than just one card. So you can see here I've actually got two cards. So I've got my normal card, the Jack of Clubs, that's the card we're using at the moment, and I've got the double backer, which was on top of the deck. So when I put this card on top, I say, right, that's the card we're going to use, and we put it on top. When I pick it up again, sorry, it was that way around, wasn't it? So we put that on top. When I pick that up to turn it over, actually I've got two cards there. So I'm holding the double backer and the card that we're using, but they look like it's one card. So we pick those up and put them on the top. Again, that's the two cards are on top there, not just one. And then it looks like we're putting one card on top. We turn it over and that's the card. Oh, that was the card that was going to go underneath, wasn't it? So instead of putting the person's card underneath, we put the double backer underneath, and they think their card is going one from the top, but actually their card is now on the top because we turned over two at a time. And a double backer allows us to do that. So a double lift, the way to do a double lift is you can really simply kind of either bezel your cards like that. So you can see I've got a slight tilt on them there as I'm holding them. And as you riffle up to get your card, you can, with your thumb, just pick up two. See, I've got two there instead of one. So instead of picking up the last card, you pick up two, and you can do that by getting a little bezel on the cards like that. Okay, or what you can do is you can do a little push. So if you push with your thumb slightly, one card will come away. And then what I've done is I've got a little, what they call a pinky break here, which is where I'm holding this top card up with my pinky finger. So you can't see it that way. It looks like I'm just holding a pack of cards. But there, I've got this little pinky break that's separating the top card from the others just with my little finger. And once you've got that pinky break, then you can put that other card on top like that and then turn it over as if it's just the one card. And then you put that card underneath and the Jack of Clubs magically comes to the top again. Okay, so that's the first trick that you can do with a double backer. Now Lucy is watching in the other room and she's helping me. She's telling me that I need to be slightly slower with my movements. So I will try and do that again super slowly for you. So we've got any card. I'm going to bury that back in the back. I've got the double backer on the top of the deck. Okay, that's on the top. We say pick any card. So we choose one from the middle here. This happens to be the 10 of spades. I get a little pinky break on that card like that, just by pushing it across or by bezeling it. And when I put that on top, I say, right, I'm now going to put this card, your card, in underneath the top card. I turn over both of them together using that double lift. I take the double backer and I put it underneath the top card, which is actually the card that we've chosen or your spectators chosen. Push that in and then you reveal their card has somehow magically popped to the top. Hopefully that was slow enough. Now, another pretty cool trick that you can do with a double backer, I'll just show you another pack of cards that I've got here. These are simply red bicycles, one of the most famous pack of cards in the world. Again, we've got the jokers, which you could use to make a double backer if you wanted to. This one does come with a double backer though. So there is our double backer there at the back. And with this one, you can, it's very similar, it's using exactly the same principle actually as the previous one. But what you can do is just present it in a slightly different way. So if you riffle through and then just say stop whenever the person wants to choose their card, you then ask them to look at that card. As they're looking at that card, and they could sign it or they could write their name on it, that's the same thing. They could write a date on it, whatever they want to do. You're getting a pinky break underneath like that, you see. Maybe you can see that a little bit more clearly with these colored cards. Getting a pinky break underneath whilst you're showing them the card and they're faffing around with it there. So you put that back on top and say, right, what we're going to do is we're going to bury your card in the deck. So I'm going to break the deck somewhere like this. I'm going to take the top card and put it in the middle of the deck like that. That's now in the middle. Now I'm going to turn the deck over, and what I want you to do is imagine that you're taking your card out. Hopefully we can remember what it was. I don't remember what the card was. Take the card out. What was it? It was a 2 of spades. Take the card out, turn it over, and put it back into the pack. Whilst they're imagining doing that, you can then start to go through and see if their card is there. Oh, look, there is one card that is upside down. So that must be their card. Don't go all the way to the top, obviously, because that will be their card there at the top still, because it's the double backer that is in the middle. Then you take that card out. Don't turn it over yet, obviously, but turn the deck over. Get your little pinky break again. Put their card on top and say, wouldn't it be amazing if that one card that turned over was your card? There it is. Then you can just take this card normally and carry on with your day. Very good. So just to reiterate what we did there, just bury that back in there somewhere. The double backer is on top. We take the cards, we shuffle through them, we pick any card. That's their card, 10 of clubs. Whilst they're looking at it, signing it, doing whatever they want to do with it, making sure it's a genuine card, you get your little pinky break. There it is. You put their card on top and very coolly and calmly flip it over like that. You split the deck anywhere and take the top card, which they think is their card, but actually it's the double backer. You take their card and you put it in the middle of the pack, clearly in the middle. turn the pack over. Then say to them, I want you to imagine you take your card out, turn it over, put it back into the pack again. Once they've done that, you riffle through and see if you can find that card that's been turned over. There it is, look, there's their card, supposedly, except it's not, it's the double backer. Take that card out and then square off the pack and turn it over again, getting your little pinky break as before. There it is. Then put their card on top, say, is this your card? Boom, there it is, the 10 of clubs, buried in the middle, turned itself over somehow. Amazing. So that is the second trick I wanted to show you today. And then the final trick I want to show you is with these two special cards that I've got here. And we've got the 4 of spades and then a mystery card that I'm not going to tell you about. Now, the real trick with illusion, especially if you're presenting them as a Christian, is to somehow apply a message to the trick. And that's why I use illusions in schools, is to explain difficult concepts, as I've said already. And so just doing a trick is great, bit of awe and wonder, that's wonderful. But if it can be used to convey a message as well, I think that's even better. It's like a parable in magic. Like Jesus used stories to explain messages, you can use tricks to explain messages too. And so with these two cards, what we do is this. We say that, look, we've got two cards here. We've got the 4 of spades and we've got the King of Hearts, which you can just see there. So we've got the 4 of spades and the King of Hearts. And these two cards both represent something. The 4 of spades represents us. The fact that actually Christians believe that we have all done something wrong, and that thing is called sin, and that separates us from God. And the King of Hearts represents Jesus, the person that Christians believe actually showed us who God was and how to love one another on this earth. But something amazing happened, something that Jesus did, which was pretty fantastic, because actually what he did was he changed our situation. Okay, so I'm going to take this 4, and what you'll see is I'm going to keep my fingers just in view. What you'll see is what Jesus did is that he, through his death on the cross and resurrection, he managed to take our sin away and actually help us to become just like him. You thought that was the King of Hearts there, didn't you? But actually, that's the double backer. So that's the double backer, but where has the 4 of spades gone? Well, actually, it's been there all along. So this trick uses a very special thing, which is like a double backer, except it's a facer. So we've got a double backer and we've got a double facer like that. So that's the King of Hearts on one side and it's the 4 of spades on the other. And as you're turning them over, you're just moving your thumb like that. But as you turn them over and move it, it looks as if, do it really slowly like that, it looks as if, or it should look as if I do it properly, they're the two cards side by side. And then when you take the 4 of spades away and put the King of Hearts down and somehow magically transform that, all you do is you simply turn that over and there is the sacrifice and the love of Jesus that has transformed us, taken away our sin, made us whole again through his power. But it's really the 4 of spades there still, and that's just a double backer. So that's another way that you can use a double backer for a trick. But you could make, as well, to go along with that, you could make a double facer. And again, you can just make those really simply just by gluing 2 cards together using glue stick or a bit of double-sided tape. For now, we're going to have to end our time with you this afternoon. But if you do have any more questions about that, or if you would like to see another magic special and there's a particular trick that I've done before in your school and you think, oh, I'd really love to know how to do that, or actually you want to see more card stuff, whatever it is, please add it to the comments, or you can email us at schools@southamptoncitymission.co.uk and you can let us know which tricks you would like to see. For now, though, I'm going to pray just to end our assembly as we always do. And if you would like to join in at the end, then you can say Amen. If you don't want to, that's fine. You don't have to. But just take a moment just to think for yourself about the awe and the wonder in your life. Dear God, thank you for the skills that we have, for the skills of craft and the skills of illusion and the skills of storytelling and drawing and creativity, for the skills of love and companionship and communication. Thank you for all of the things that we are able to do as humans. Please help us to be aware of the awe and the wonder around us, that as we go out for a walk and we see flowers in our way, may we marvel at the creation that they are. That as we breathe the air and enjoy the sun, this beautiful sunny afternoon, that we may be struck with the awe and wonder of the creation that we live in. Help us too to remember that last trick that I did there, which was helping us to understand what happened when Jesus died and rose again. That he takes away the wrong that we have done and replaces it with his perfect righteousness. Help us, no matter what we believe, to show that same sort of love to those around us, in the way we think, the way we act, and the way we speak. If you would like to agree, then you can say Amen. Well, tomorrow we will be back with another online assembly, and Ellie will be with us tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thursday, the 21st of May, and her assembly will be all about the perfect world, or the world that Jesus wants. So we've been thinking about miracles, about baptism, and about that sacrifice of Jesus that we've just talked about through that last double backer card trick today. And tomorrow, Ellie will be bringing that all together, thinking about the sort of world that Jesus wants today and how we as Christians can help to bring that world about. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day. Go out, enjoy the sunshine now, and we will see you tomorrow. So until I see you next, stay safe, God bless, and take care.